everyone, I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here today. This video has been highly requested as you guys have asked for what are my holy grail products in every single category. So today I have collected everything that I use that I never want to be without. Now I just recently did one of these videos in my entire hair care routine. I will link that right here and I'll also put it at the end of this video so that it's handy for you when we get finished today. You also want to know about skincare, and I just recently did a skincare video. I'll link that down in the description box so that you can see where I get my skincare and what skincare I use. Now, it's been interesting to go through this process because the majority of my skincare I purchase through Dermstore. In terms of my makeup, more of my cosmetics, I get most of that stuff through Sephora or Ulta or Target or Rite Aid, wherever I find my holy grails and where I find them on sale. So the reason I wanted to get this holy grail out to you today, which a little bit earlier than my normal 3 o'clock Pacific time on Friday, was because, as many of you know, the Sephora sale for Rouge members starts today, the 27th. So I wanted to get this out to you before you got your shopping cart full and maybe went through your budget and didn't have some of these items listed. That's what we're gonna do today. Before I meet you on the other end of this intro, let's just address the elephant in the room. One of the benefits of this career is that you get to try a lot of new makeup. One of the downsides of this career is you try a lot of makeup. Some works for you, some doesn't. Clearly, I've tried an eyeliner as of late that did not work for me, and I ended up with this. I went to the doctor yesterday because I was freaking out thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening to my eye? And yes, I have developed an allergic reaction to the red pigment in an eyeliner that I should not have tried, but I did, and that's that. I'm not going to share with you the brand. It's a great brand, and I got an allergic reaction to an eyeliner that had a red pigment in it. That is completely safe. My eye just didn't like it. I really thought about, do I still do a video? Do I not do a video? Do I wear sunglasses? Do I put a patch over my eye? All these scenarios went through my head at the doctor's office yesterday because I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I have a video to do and it's right on the eve of the Sephora sale, so what can we do? And they gave me eye drops. They are supposed to work in 2 to 3 days. I don't have 2 to 3 days to get this video out, so here we are. I apologize if looking at this eye causes your eye to tear up a little bit or water. It doesn't hurt, you guys. I promise you, it does not hurt. It just looks crazy. But the show must go on. The sale doesn't stop, and so here we go. All right, so the majority of my skincare, as I mentioned, I do purchase at Dermstore, which there's a link down below to see all of the stuff that's available there. There are a few things that I like to purchase during the Sephora sale, however, and that's because I like to take advantage of the sales. The first one are these exfoliating peels that I've talked about several times. I just like to buy the big box because they last a really long time. I've shared these with you guys several times, which is important because then you know I actually use these because you've seen them before, and this just isn't something that I'm throwing at you because there's a sale and there's affiliate links and all that. These I've actually used. In fact, clearly I need to get some more. And I share with you exactly how I use these in that skincare video, but it's really just 2 pads. You put one on your skin, you wait about 2 minutes, and then you put the second one over your skin. These are the extra strength peels. It helps to take off that dead layer of skin so that whether you're working on your hands or your arms or your face or your chest, your neck, whatever, you're really getting the benefit of renewing that skin more frequently. And it's in pads, so it makes it very easy to administer. Wipe on, wipe off, you know, kind of like Karate Kid. That's how we do it. The other product that I like to pick up during this Sephora sale, because it can be a little bit pricey, is the Murad Retinol Resculpt Overnight Treatment. I've talked about this. This is one of my holy grails in terms of my evening skincare. This is where I get my retinol from, and I can tell the next morning when I go to put on my makeup if it was a late night and I forgot to apply this. My skin just looks a little bit more dull, I would say, when I have not used this. So when we talk about holy grail, this is, well, all these products are my holy grail. That's why they're in this video. This is a holy grail video. If you're looking for a retinol product that isn't really strong, but strong enough to do the job, and you don't want it to interact or interfere with some of your other products that you like to layer, I'm sensitive to scents and fragrances. This has the slightest, like 5%, if that even makes sense. It has the slightest scent to it, so just know that. So I want to share that with you in case you don't go into the store to purchase this. Just know there's a slight scent. I don't know about you guys, but I don't find that I go into like Sephora or Ulta as often anymore. I just like to shop online. And I think maybe during flu season is why I kind of stay away from the stores. I just like to have it all in my cart and hit a button and it all shows up. And even if it's not tomorrow, if it's in a week or so, that's totally fine with me. I just have enjoyed online shopping lately. Have you guys, do you prefer online shopping or do you like to go into the stores, especially during the holidays? You either really love that experience or you steer clear of that experience. I'm curious what you guys do, let me know. The other product before we get into beauty is the K18. I talked about these in my hair video. These are products that you definitely want if you've got more brittle hair, if your hair is lacking shine. This repairs the bond from the inside out of your hair. It's a restorative. It's all based on science. I have stopped using the number 3 and the number 6 and the number 7 of Olaplex. I have only started using this to help repair some of the damage that I believe was done through Olaplex, and these have been great. Now that was my personal experience. Everyone's experience with Olaplex is completely different. If you found that your hair was breaking for any reason of any other products or just damage or just dry brittle hair, then I have found both of these to be very, very helpful. And how you use this is somewhat scientific, so I have all that broken down for you in that other video. The most important things to know is that you just want to put it on before you put on any other product when you first get out of the shower. Let it sit for 4 minutes and then you can go into your leave-in conditioner or any other detangler or a heat protectant, any of those things. You just want that K18 to really sit and absorb through the hair before other products. So you'll see the whole how-to in that video. All right, so now let's get into holy grails in terms of makeup. First up is primer. The holy grail for me, there's 2 of them. One is the Guerlain, which clearly I need to order, so I will be doing, so that is in my cart. The Guerlain Gold 24, you used to be able to buy this at Costco, for those of you that had a Costco membership. I looked yesterday to see if the price of this at Costco was better than the discounts that you get at Sephora during the sale, and it's no longer available, at least at the Costco's here in the US. So now's a good time to get this because it is available at the sale. I use this through the summer and in the fall. As we start to transition into winter and I use a little bit heavier moisturizer, then I will stop using this one and I like to use the Tatcha Silk Canvas. This one is nice because I just feel like it's putty. That's the best way. It is a putty primer, but I think about it as putty in potholes. You know, it just when you fill a pothole, then the road is smooth. If I start to feel like my pores are more visible, which tends to happen to me more in the wintertime when I'm using artificial heat and I'm really slathering on the moisturizer, then I like to use a putty primer to just make everything more smooth before I start to put on my foundation. So this is definitely, in fact, you can see I put it on with my fingernails. This is definitely a holy grail for me, and I don't like to be without this one. Tatcha overall is a really nice brand. Daniel Martin is a professional makeup artist, and he collaborates with this company on a lot of their products. So I feel good about the way the products have been designed to work from a makeup perspective, and I have yet to find a Tatcha product that I just don't absolutely love. But this one is a beyond love holy grail category. All right, next let's go into foundation. This is not going to be a surprise to any of you. This is my holy grail foundation. I do like the YSL All Hours. I just struggle with the colors since they've changed to this new formula a year and a half ago. I do use it, I do love it, but when we talk about holy grail, whether I am working on my own makeup or doing makeup for friends, I don't do makeup professionally on other people. I do have a professional makeup artist certificate, but I don't do makeup on other people, so I'm never building a kit. If you were building a kit, I would say this is one that you would definitely want to have because it is so versatile on a lot of different skin types. It's medium coverage, it's buildable, and it is cruelty-free. The shade range is 51 colors, and it is good for those of us with more dry skin. If you have oily skin, I would probably use this with a mattifying primer, but it is good for all skin types. So really love this. In fact, this is not the only product from Haus Labs that you will see in this video of Holy Grails. Clearly I am becoming really fond of that brand. Next, let's go to contour. I like to use a cream contour, and this is no surprise if you are not new to my channel, and that's gonna be the NARS. I use the Laguna number 3 in the summer. Now that we go into winter, I don't want such a dark contrast in terms of a contour, so I will drop down to the Laguna number 2, and this can be a little bit pricey, so these sales are a good time to pick up that one. Here's the number 3, just so you can see. I have shown you how I do cream contour so many times. You guys are like, please don't demonstrate that because we've seen it. I really just like to contour up where my hairline has receded as I've aged, and I just want to pull that back a little bit. It just helps to ensure that my hairline looks like it did, you know, 30 years ago. It's a little bit more forward. There's a little shadow there, so you really don't notice it. It's not a stark difference between my hair and my skin, my face. So that's why I love the cream contour. Very easy to blend. Now let's go to concealer. This will not be a surprise if you guys saw the recent Friday Face Off. That Natasha Denona concealer is a very good concealer. It performed very well during the Friday Face Off. However, the one I have reached for since then as a new Holy Grail is the one by Haus Labs. And if you saw that video, you know why that performed so well. This is a water-based concealer, which means it layers and blends seamlessly with a water-based foundation, which is why I like to partner these two together. Your color match on this one is really easy to find. If you go to the Haus Labs by Lady Gaga website, find the foundation color that best suits you. It's a very helpful website when it comes to identifying the best color match for you. And then you know when you order it at Sephora, if you take advantage of the sale, that what color that you're gonna wanna get is probably gonna be a really good match. That's exactly how I found the match that I use. And I'll link that color down below. The writing is so small right here, I can't even see it, even if I really, really wanted to. Oh, that's not true. This is light rosy. One eye down, I can still see it. That's not so bad. Light rosy in the concealer. All right, now let's go to blush. For those of you that watch me all the time, I feel bad. I feel like you guys are like, yes, Jodi, we know. But again, that is the point of the Holy Grails, and especially if it's right before a sale. I have seen a few YouTubers where all of a sudden they have these new loves, and they are products I've never seen them use before, but suddenly it's like the newest love and they're super expensive, and I just have to wonder where those products were. I've never seen you use them before. I have, of course, a cream blush Holy Grail. That is a mouthful. A cream blush Holy Grail and a powder blush Holy Grail, and they are both by the same brand. The cream blush is Peach Lotus by Pat McGrath. That's what I have on today. All the products I'm gonna share with you are the products I have on today. None of them caused this, so no worries. The creaminess of this cream concealer is what has me loving it so much. You guys, it's really fast to just draw on where I want my blush in the morning. I take a damp beauty sponge and just sort of melt it into my skin, and then I'm done. I am gonna pick up some darker colors in this formula during the Sephora sale, because when it comes to blush, especially in the winter, I like to do more under sculpting, and a darker color and then a light coating of foundation over it allows that color of that blush to really come through and pop, but not in such an obvious way. I like to layer my blush underneath as well as my cream contour, and then apply a veil of foundation over it just to sort of melt it all in and make it look more uniformed. This is too light of a blush to do that, this Peach Lotus, so I'll be grabbing a darker color for fall and winter. The powder blush, that is a Holy Grail for me because I've been layering it on top of this cream and it looks stunning, and I'm really looking forward to doing that with a darker blush underneath, is this new color by Pat McGrath. This is called Skin Fetish, and it looks, and first of all, I've been using this almost every day for the last 5 weeks, and that beautiful rose is still in there. So that's not gonna go away anytime soon, which I don't know if you care about that or not, but it's very pretty and I do like to look at it. I just feel happy when I open that and go, oh, there's still flowers in there. Anyway, it's a soft color, but it goes over any other color really nicely. It's sort of like when you want to add a pinkish, light pink nude lipstick over your lipstick and just maybe in the center and give it a little bit of a shadowed look or a framed look. That's what I've been doing with this, just putting it right over the top of that cream blush. And again, this is a good time to pick up any Pat McGrath products that you've had your eye on, any Natasha Denona products that you've had your eye on. These are usually a good time to do that. When it comes to blush, there was one more holy grail that I just could not leave out because I use this one a lot. I've referred to it a lot on the channel, and this is the My Dream Cheek Trio by Natasha Denona. The reason I love this one so much is because the color of that blush is just a perfect cherry peach is what I would call it. It's not too bright, it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's just the perfect blush color. And her blushes, her shadows, her powders in general, eyeshadows included, are smooth and creamy. They don't clump, they don't go on lumpy. They're just very easy to apply. So even if you're not a professional makeup artist, even if you're somewhat new to makeup, applying a Natasha Denona or a Pat McGrath powder product, the smoothness of it helps you look like a pro. It just takes away some of the patchiness and the extra blending that has to go on with some other more chalky formulas. They're very, very smooth and easy to apply. The other reason I had to put this in my Holy Grails is because these two highlighters are the highlighter of choice for me. So even if you don't love the blush, maybe you like to have different color blushes to change from, this and this highlighter, this is a cream and this is a powder highlight, are phenomenal. Just a little bit right on the front of your cheek. I also like to use the powder one right on my eyelid. It's just such a versatile little palette that you can use these three things in a lot of different ways. So I do love it for that. And because the two highlight colors are, again, that perfect balance of they're not glittery, they're not sparkly, you don't see the chunks of glitter. They just look like, I mean, they just look like a smooth amount of sheen. It's not quite that wet look, it's just that really pretty sheen look. So Natasha Denona products always seem to hit it out of the park, and this would absolutely be a holy grail product for me. So now that we have covered our face with all kinds of beautiful products, the setting powder that I reach for, I grabbed the Givenchy Prism Libre, and I have it in color 3, and this is for underneath my eyes to set my concealer, as well as a little bit of dusting right in this area where I tend to get a little bit oily. I'll also use a little bit of this across my forehead if I find that I need my makeup to last throughout a long period of time and I start to get in, oil starts to break through. I use color 3 because it's more of a cool tone, so it doesn't bring any of my warmth out, which is what I try to hide. If you've never tried one of these, the Sephora sale is the time to try it because it can be pricey. You get so much powder in this product, and this powder is so finely milled that it goes over everything very, very smoothly. It doesn't catch and grab and look cakey. You can really blend it out for that blurred veil look, which is what I love. And it doesn't settle into fine lines. It holds my concealer really nicely. The combination of that Haus Labs concealer with this powder has really been that sort of winning combination that I've been looking for. As long as I keep my under eye area well exfoliated so that I'm getting rid of any dead skin cells, and I keep that area hydrated before I apply my concealer, and then I apply a little bit of setting spray, and then I set it all with this. It's a really locked in, flawless look that I don't find cakes throughout the day. So that brings us to setting spray. Setting spray, again, not gonna be a surprise for anybody that follows me. It's Makeup Forever's setting spray. Because this Mist and Fix does not contain alcohol, so if you want to apply the setting spray to your makeup brush and go right underneath your eyes before you apply the concealer, like I've shared with you from that Wayne Goss video, if you haven't seen that, I will also link that down below. It's a great technique. I try to do it as often as I can. It's just, it's changing the steps of how I apply my concealer. So it's almost habit now, but not quite. I still have to kind of catch myself and go, okay, what's the steps? It changes the process. You put some setting spray on a brush, you moisten that area, then you put more setting spray on the brush and get some of your concealer, and then you set it in, and then you get a little bit more setting spray on the brush, and then you set it with a little bit of powder. So there's some steps to it that's just out of my normal routine. So I'm loving the process. It just beware, it takes a little bit of time to change that habit and get into a new one. Because you're putting setting spray that many times in a delicate area of your face, I try to avoid alcohol in hairspray, in perfumes, in setting spray, anywhere I can keep alcohol off of my skin because of that drying effect. I really try to do it. So I love this setting spray. It's not super expensive, but if you already have things in your cart for the Sephora sale, this might be a time to pick it up. There is a smaller one that I thought I kept in here, but it might have gotten empty. And I also keep it in my travel kit. So you don't need this big, huge one. So if you want to try it out first on a smaller size, that might be the better way to go. All right, when it comes to eyeshadow, you guys, I have to recommend, if you love nude or cool toned eyeshadow, that Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. It is a holy grail. I haven't used anything else in terms of eyeshadow since I got this palette about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And this will carry me through the holidays, long into spring and summer, based on the variety of colors and the number of different looks that you can create with this palette. With 12 different colors, a mix of mattes and shimmers, and these two down here create that wet look, so there's really no color to them. It's just a wet look, which is beautiful. This is one of those must-have palettes. Again, if you like to create eyeshadow looks with more neutral to cool colors, this is a no-brainer. And for our more mature skin, there's plenty of matte shades in here that you can create a lot of different looks, and then just add a quick little sparkle right in the inner corner of your eyelid, and you have a gorgeous, gorgeous look. So this is one that I am so glad I purchased, and it can be pricey, so good time to pick it up as well. All right, next up we are talking eyeliner, and that brings us back to Haus Labs by Lady Gaga. I like to use a deep dark brown instead of black as I get older, unless I'm wearing something black, you know, which I don't do a lot of so much anymore. So I have loved this Haus Labs by Lady Gaga. I have it in the deep cocoa. I shared this one with you guys more than once. It's a gel eyeliner. It's waterproof, so you can use it in your waterline if you like. It's very easy to apply. It's creamy. It's not a pencil, so it doesn't tug. And then it has a brush on the end, but not just a normal, let's throw a brush on to make it look more appealing, but a nice brush that is flat across the top and it's very thin. So if you were to put this eyeliner in your, let's use my good eye, underneath your eye, and then you want to blend that out and just softly blur that so that you don't have a harsh line and it looks very just like a shadow, which is what we are typically trying to achieve. This brush makes it very easy to do. That's how I did it on both sides today. I didn't do a whole lot on this side, I'm being honest. I'm just trying to avoid any extra irritation. This is not the eyeliner that irritated my eye. I don't think there's even any red pigments in that. It's just a nice deep dark brown, and again, this is called deep cocoa, I believe. Yes, deep cocoa. It's just a perfect, I don't want to wear black because it's too harsh on my skin, but I need a good intense brown that softens up the look but still says I have eyeliner on. That's why I like this color. And because I don't wear a lot of different color eyeliners, this is the only eyeliner color that I have tried. But my experience with this would say, if you like a good eyeliner, but you maybe want to try a different color in this brand, I think you'd be really happy with the results. All right, moving right along. So Holy Grail mascara does not come from any other place than Thrive Cosmetics. I have talked to you guys about that. In fact, I didn't even bring it in because it's not in the Sephora sale. You guys, I've even gone on and ordered 2 more of those mascaras. Now, it is a tubing mascara. I'm a mascara snob, self-admitted. This is a tubing mascara. It doesn't come off like a tubing mascara though, which might be why I like it. I only need 2 coats, which is what I have on today, and I do not need to apply a 3rd coat as a waterproof coat. I have loved that mascara. If you're like me and you want sort of instant gratification and you don't want to wait very long for things to arrive, you do have to order this mascara through Thrive Cosmetics. But I've ordered it 3 times already, and it's not one time has it taken longer than 5 days. So I can't say that's the same for you. I live in the Seattle area. I'm not sure where it's shipped from. It's shipped in the US, but it doesn't take a long time. And when I tell you, if you're looking for a mascara that lengthens the appearance of your lashes and makes your lashes appear more thick, so you get the volume as well as the lengthening without the clumping, and no transfer, no flaking, I have loved it. Now, I did read some comments that people have tried it and they weren't a fan. I can't speak to how that experience went. I can only tell you from my perspective, it has changed my mascara game, and I mean that seriously. Now, if you do need a waterproof mascara, there is a good one from Givenchy that I was using up until the time I started using Thrive Cosmetics. So I did want to just mention this. So if you're looking for a good waterproof mascara, whether you want to use waterproof every day to just coat that last layer of your favorite mascara so that you don't get that transfer, then this one has been a good one. I just haven't needed it since I started using Thrive. I'm not sponsored by Thrive Cosmetics. In fact, I did reach out to them and say, would you like to do a collaboration? Because I love your mascara. They haven't returned my call, but I still love their mascara. All right, staying with the eyes, we must talk about brows. When it comes to eyebrows, it is Anastasia of Beverly Hills for me, and I have the color Taupe. Why do I love this one so much? I used to really love the Pure, and I still do. I just find that the formula from the Anastasia of Beverly Hills is a little bit harder. Not so hard that I have to tug, but I find that it's hard enough that when I want to do individual looking hairs, I can do that with just a simple flick of the wrist. And when I want to do long lines to sort of fill in this area, I can do that as well. And then I can go on with a brush on the other side and quickly just push them all up to give me a little bit more height before I set them with a brow gel. The Holy Grail eyebrow pencil for me is this one by Anastasia of Beverly Hills. Then I go in and set my brows with the clear brow gel, also by Anastasia of Beverly Hills. I am never without this, and I don't know why, because it's not like my brows are so big and bold and long that I need to set them. I just feel like this is sort of like that final step for my brows that they get locked in place. Now, if you do have longer brows or you've got some that kind of go off and you don't want to cut them, this is excellent, you guys, because you can't see it, but it doesn't feel stiff, but it works as a very good medium hold hairspray for your eyebrows. That's what I would say. They don't move. I don't get throughout the day that one that kind of works its way up and out. Once I use this clear gel and I put them right where I want them to be, they are not moving. I believe it also helps, this is my opinion, I think it also helps hold onto or seal in that eyebrow pencil where I have put it on my skin and not coated a brow, because there's just areas where there's gaps, right? That's why we use an eyeliner pencil. So when I need to color in actually on my skin and not just thicken the brow, I don't want that to wear off through the day. And I am oily in the eyebrows. So when I use something like this, I feel like it just locks in that eyebrow pencil in addition to keeping my eyebrows in the shape that I have just put them in. What I would say about this is it's not buildable. There's a lot of products on our face we like to be buildable, so if we need to go back in and really glam it up, we can. This is not buildable. I wouldn't do 2 layers. There's just no need. It dries down matte, it's not shiny, and you just don't need to put a second layer on, or I think you could start to look a little clumpy. Again, what I do love about it though is it dries down to be a matte. There's no shiny eyebrows going on, which is good. I don't know why that would bother me, but if they were shiny, I like my hair to be shiny, but I don't want my eyebrows to be shiny. I don't know why. Why don't I want my eyebrows shiny? It's a question I have to think about. I don't have the answer. All right, moving on. Let's go to lips. Now, Holy Grail lip liner. This is not something you're gonna find at the Sephora sale, but this is not a Sephora sale exclusive video. This is a Holy Grail video. My Holy Grail lip liners are NYX. These are $5. I just did a Friday face off. I will also link that down below if you have not seen it. You guys, that will sell you on this lip liner, whether you're even on the market for a lip liner. This wears so well, you're gonna find yourself going, I must have a lip liner, even if you don't normally wear a lip liner. They wear that good. They're $5. They're pencil. They don't tug, and I tested it up against a MAC lip liner. And for years, I was a lover of MAC lip liners. I still love them, but I don't love them as much as I love this one. Once I compared how well or not well they wore in a side-by-side comparison. So Holy Grail lip liner for me is NYX. All right, we have almost completely emptied the basket. We've covered some of the skincare, although most of it I get at Dermstore, which I've linked down below for you. hair care, almost all Kerastase, a lot of it that can be purchased at Sephora. That's also all linked down below for you as well. The last thing that's in my bucket for you guys is the Laneige lip mask, sleeping lip mask. I bought the first one of these at the Sephora sale probably 2 years ago. And at first I was like, it doesn't really work much better than my Aquaphor, which you can get for like $9, and I believe this is closer to $20. But later that winter, my lips started getting much more dry. So I reached for one of these and I loved the way my lips felt in the morning. So I wore it for a month and then I went back to Aquaphor for a month to see if I could really feel the difference. And since that little experiment, this is the one that I've been using. And I keep it right by my nightstand. Right before I turn out the light, the last thing I do is put this on my lips, and then I don't have to keep applying a lip gloss throughout the day, especially in the winter where my lips tend to get more dry. And then in that few months in summer where I'm out in the sun, I do like to wear a sunscreen on my lips, but they still get dry, especially if I'm in the heat and I'm not drinking enough water. This has been really good. The thing to note about this though, if you do purchase this at Sephora, there are a few holiday gifts that contain these. Just take a look at the ounces that you're actually getting. There's one right now where you get 5 of these, but they're very small and it sells for $20. So it comes up to be about a half of an ounce. There's another kit on sale that is $32, I believe, but you get an ounce and a half of product. So it's so much more. For just $12 more, you get a whole another ounce of the product. So I think sometimes these holiday gifts that they put together are beautiful and the packaging is shiny and it looks like, oh my gosh, it just feels like Christmas and happy and under a tree. You can just imagine somebody opening it. But when you really break down the cost of those items versus what they would cost without all the fancy holiday packaging, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So that was one that was when I was doing some research on this product, because I thought they'd make great stocking stuffers. I just wanted to make a good buying decision for good stocking stuffers. Stocking stuffers or not, I still want to have a good deal. Well, that is my Holy Grail beauty products. You guys have probably seen a lot of these products in use before because, well, they're my Holy Grail. So you can trust that I use them on a regular basis. You've probably seen these products a lot. So for those of you that have been with me for a while, not a lot of new, but these are the Holy Grail and that's what you asked for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and I look forward to seeing you in just a couple days.